Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Caswell Tonight. I had to look for a second and see what the name of this show is because we've done so many different shows. I was so used to it being the Caswell Cook Show for years and years. And then when COVID-19 started, we started calling it Ask Caswell. Hi, Denise. D-Nice. That's my wife. What picture are you guys talking about? My mom's watching. Amanda, Nancy, the chef is watching. Um, we... We've been coming at you on all these different streaming platforms. So while I've got your attention here, before we have a guest on tonight, I wanted to tell you that I would love to be able to build up the Caswell Cook Show YouTube page. We had a great concert this weekend with Misquamicut, and we were able to get a new page from Misquamicut that had like 3 people liking it, and we got up to like 150 people. And because of that and all the sharing, we had like 2,000 views for our streaming concert just on that Misquamicut Beach YouTube page. So if you can, go to YouTube and you can watch the show right there as well. It's the Caswell Cook Show on YouTube, and please subscribe to the channel. That would be awesome if you would. Hi, Mary. Thanks for watching tonight. So tonight we're starting a new show that we started a couple days back called Caswell Tonight. And we're going to just interview all sorts of people. We're going to just bring anybody on that has an interesting story to tell, something cool. And every once in a while, we're going to bring you a celebrity. We do have next Monday night. We have pinned down a date for Susan Cowsill from the group The Cowsills. So if you knew the song "Hair" or "The Rain, the Park," and other things, among many others, Susan's going to be here. She's also a great solo artist, and she's worked with a ton of different people. So we're very fortunate to have Susan Cowsill, who's going to join us. And we have some other people working on Gary Puckett from Gary Puckett and the Union Gap, Young Girl, Get Out of My Life, and Woman, Woman, a couple of great songs like that. So we're going to keep sprinkling in the big celebs when we can. Ed's watching, John's watching, Patty's watching, Justin's watching. So thank you guys for all tuning in tonight. I want to bring on my guest, I think. I'm not sure if he's here yet, but if he is, there he is.
I'm here. How you doing?
He is one half of Borderline Genius. His name is Matt Bureau from the Music Bureau.
Correct.
So you played the other night. You and your partner there did us some great songs for the Misquamicut webcast there, the music festival online. And I will say that you took the cake for having the best backdrop for the whole thing.
We were hoping that. Thank you. We were hoping to hear it.
Yeah, you had the thing with the sign that said like Patty's and all that. It was we all watched that and said, "Wow, man, this guy knows what he's doing. These guys know what they're doing." So first of all, tell us a little bit about the group that we heard the other night, Borderline Genius. How did you two start performing music as a group?
Actually, we're cousins. My cousin Brian Hartley and Matt Bureau, we're cousins. So at around 5 years old, I started playing guitar. My dad taught me some old Johnny Cash and guitar boogies and all that fun stuff. And he started around 9 years old. And then he started really studying jazz and rock. And he passed me as a guitar player. But we play. We play a lot together. So we've been playing for years throughout. We split up a little bit when I went to college. And I toured with a band called Leaf Jumpers in the 90s. And now we're back playing the songs we played when we were 17 years old. All the Johnny B. Goods and yeah.
Where did Borderline Genius, the name, come from?
I used to say it a lot. Like, that's Borderline. I don't know why. I heard it in a show or something. I was like, that's Borderline Genius. And then finally he was like, just call it. Because we were called Any Corner. Because we were a small, either a duo or a trio. We could play in any corner.
Any corner.
Yeah. So we changed it to Borderline Genius 2 years ago.
And where are you tonight? Like, where's your hometown?
Columbia, Connecticut.
So Misquamicut Beach is definitely something you've heard about over the years.
Oh, yeah. We played Sandy's Lighthouse a lot and a bunch of places out there, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, we have such a great connection with all the towns in Connecticut, from here up to Hartford, up to Springfield, Mass. Seems like the fan base for Misquamicut Beach is Connecticut, probably because, no offense, but Connecticut beaches just don't have that same surf, sun, and sand that we do. And so we welcome everybody from, and we hope you guys can come this summer and actually play in person down here.
That'd be great. Love to have it.
So what do you do for a day job?
This is it. I teach guitar online right now, but I was teaching at the Music Bureau, a store that I owned and I recently sold. Yeah. So I'm still able to teach there when it's open, and then I teach from home now, just online, of course. But
Did you ever do online lessons before the COVID-19 thing?
Not a single one. So learning curve for all of, even how to get paid from Venmo and all that. Like that's all new for me. But we figured it out pretty quickly and got rolling and kept the students happy and we're having a blast.
I see that it totally works because my daughter, who's 9, takes piano lessons, and it was a seamless transition. She's got the music stand and the iPad, her music next to it. She can see her teacher's piano. He can see her piano and or keyboard, and they just go back and forth. And it's like, I don't know. I guess we've all learned to adapt to this weirdness we're living in.
It's good to get out, but it's probably easier for the parents not having to drive, and coming out. You know what I mean? Like they just go get in your laptop and go or wherever their platform is, and now they're in their lesson.
I hope it doesn't replace, online. I hope online doesn't replace in-person learning, but it's certainly a good supplement. And like, I was saying to my wife, or she may have been saying to me, that there'll never be a snow day again because they can do online learning, which stinks.
It is true.
So it's true. So what are some of the artists? You said Johnny Cash. What are some of your other influences musically? We're
all over the place. I grew up in Counting Crows. I was in a groove rock band, like a Dave Matthews kind of Matchbox 20, Counting Crows. Mostly originals, but that was the vibe we were doing. From Fish to Grateful Dead a little bit too, but not that jammy. And then I like everything from the blues to Clapton to rock to the country. I toured with a country band, Frankie Justin, for 7 years. From Nashville to Connecticut, so we did all the country. So now we know a lot of country and rock. So when you come see a show, we're all over the board. We'll do a Johnny Cash song, and we'll do a Jason Aldean song into an instrumental, wipeout. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. So we would take requests too because we've been playing for years and we know a ton of songs.
Well, since you're totally set up with the guitar, the microphone, I say you play us a song.
Let's do it. You
all
can
right.
hear everything all right? You can hear this okay?
I can.
So this is Hotcakes, our CD that you can get. You can like Borderline Genius on Facebook or Matt Bureau. You can Matt@themusicbureau.com. Matt@themusicbureau.com is my email, but you can pick up a copy there or just rate on Facebook. Borderline Genius Band from Columbia, Connecticut. And I'm going to play the first song on that CD called I Know. This is a great song with the words really reflect the quarantine we're living in right now. It's about doing pretty much nothing. Well, I'm sitting at home with nothing to do, and I don't really care. I got my pumped up on my pajamas and really big comfy chairs. It says, please get up off your butt and do something else. So I get my butt off my chair and I lie on the couch, 'cause I know everything that you say, and I know we've been the other day, and I know we've been tomorrow, and I know. Well, I'm sitting at home with nothing to do, and I ain't got no plans. I ain't changing out of pajamas, 'cause I couldn't get my name. She says, please get up off your butt and let's start the day. My day has already begun, so right here I'll stay, and I know. And that you say, and I know. We've been the other day, and I know. We've been tomorrow, and I know. Well, I'm sitting at home with nothing to do, and I don't really care. I ain't changing out of my pajamas, 'cause I couldn't get my name. She said, please get up off your butt and let's start the day. My day has already begun, so right here I'll stay, and I know everything that you say, and I know we've been the other day, and I know we'll be tomorrow, and I know. Well, I know. Where you been the other day and I know. Where you been the other day and I know. Where you been the other day and I know. I know.
That's the sound of two hands clapping.
Correct.
That's all you get. Well, you know,
That's more than
people can do the thumbs up and the hearts, because I've realized that that's like the new version of clapping when you're playing on Facebook Live.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So now, recording an album like you did, I mean, obviously, you know, everything's available digitally nowadays, but how did you put together the idea or the material to do an album, and how do you do it these days? I mean, you go into a studio, do you do it at home with equipment? Well, what's your process?
We're going to get into that because we can't go into a studio. We were supposed to go back in this past March to do another album. We have 6 more songs ready to go. So this last one we did at Mesophonic Studio in Manchester, Connecticut. Good friend of ours, John Bolduc. And we've been working on them for years for CDs, and very reasonably priced, and puts out top quality. People don't put on the CD, and the first thing they say is quality is really good. You know, even down in Nashville when we brought to some of the studios, they're like, who recorded this in Connecticut? Like, top notch. So we're happy about that. So for the price he gives us, because we're a friend, it's better than going to try the learning curve of recording on a laptop or whatever. There's a lot in there with the microphones and making the drums and getting the good sound. So we didn't go to a studio and pay money and have it mastered and mixed and all that fun stuff from a professional.
So do you go in and do you do like a basic guitar track and then do vocals later, or do you try to record it live? How do you, what's your technique?
Little of both. We start live. As long as the drums are perfect, then the drummer can go home. So the 6 tracks, the drums have to, if he messes up, you start over. If the drum track's good, then you can overdub anything. I mean, the guy's a pro. So like, even if you messed up a bass drum, he can pull it out from somewhere else and say, there's an A right there, and it sounds flawless. So
does the drummer have a click track going in his ears? Because he's got to stay exact.
Yes, he does. That way he can go in and say, measure 71. I can replace that guitar part or that bass line or whatever. And if not, you do the whole, sometimes you have to redo the whole bass or whatever. And then for guitars, I redid all the guitars because you want to get the tone, you know what I mean, that you want, the solos, a couple takes and all that stuff. And vocals too. And vocals are last. You go in and you do the vocals in a vocal booth. So you're just doing a rough take of the vocals just so you know where you are in the song when you record it live. That way you're playing a live band, you get that feel.
I'm about to go in the studio and record my first ever album at age 46. And I always like to ask people who have done it like you, like what do you do? Like, how do you do it? And so it's
John Bolduc, wherever you go. Yeah, that's it. You do that. When we play live, you see we're mostly acoustic duo because it's just easier, and then you don't have to ask for so much money because we're only 2 guys. But we have a trio, and Jay Wood is our drummer, and he's unbelievable. So if they request a drummer, he comes along, and we do a full band. But probably 75% of our shows are acoustic duo or solo. I play solo also. They don't have the budget for 2 of us, or they just want a solo performer.
That's a lot. Is that a lot harder to be by yourself for a 2-3 hour gig?
Yeah, you think it wouldn't be different, but there's a little different kind of. There's no one to fall back on. You can't jam like solo. We solo back and forth. I mean, we bring a loop pedal, which I don't do, so it's a little bit different material-wise. You need a little bit more. But on the positive note, you don't have to have 2 guys learn the song, so I can play songs I wouldn't play with Brian.
Right.
That I played years ago. I just refreshed my memory because you don't have 2 guys trying to learn them.
Do you hear a lot of new songs that you want to cover, or like new country songs, or are you mostly pulling from the older catalog?
Mostly country, especially during the quarantine. The new country stuff I'm liking a lot. Luke Combs, I got a couple of his songs, so they're ready to go. I pulled out Mama Tried just this past couple of weeks just because I've been listening. Like Brad Paisley did a segment the other day, and I saw a version of Mama Tried that I really liked, so that one's coming out. I got plenty of time now in between lessons, and there's no more shows. I was playing nursing homes a couple times a week, solo acoustic, doing the oldies, the Elvis and the Beatles and Johnny Cash. And then me and Brad would go out and do those songs plus others at night.
So when you're playing, and I've been a DJ for years, and so there's always like a few songs you can never get out of a gig without playing. Give me 4 or 5 tunes off the top of your head that you cannot avoid playing at most of your gigs, like that you know someone's going to ask for.
The biggest request, and they usually say the artist. They'll say they won't say Margaritaville. They'll say the artist, or they'll say Van Morrison, and they mean Brown Eyed Girl.
Right.
Mustang Sally, we don't do that one, but we request that a lot, so we might throw that in our set. We've done it years ago, but that's not one that we do. Johnny Be Good.
Really?
Yeah, that one, just people. And then you get random ones like Soul Shine by Allman Brothers. Like, I've got requested that a lot, so I might put that in just because a lot of people know that song, but we get requested that quite a bit because of our sound. They're like, you guys will do a good version of Soul Shine. And we're like, that's a weird request, but I've heard it before.
Like 4 years ago, I started getting these requests for Africa, and I'm going like what, you know? And well, the Toto version, but you know, I'm sitting there going like, and then Weezer covered it, and then they covered Hash Pipe, but it's like I wonder what brings back a song like Africa after 30 years. I mean, in the 80s, it was a big song, it was great, but I never thought that, you know, kids in the year 2019 or 2017, whatever it was they started at, would be saying, play Africa, man. And you're like, where does that come from? So does any song, does it surprise you when young people that are like, you know, just out of college request a song and you're like, how the hell do you know that?
For lessons, especially for lessons. I got like teenage kids going, can I learn the Anthem by Good Charlotte from the 80s? I'm like, what? Like, how do you know that song, for one? But it's because their parents listen to that, and you know, on their iPad, on their mixer, and that's the type of music. I found that out because I'm like, how do you even know that song? It's random. Like, that's not even a big era of music that, you know, that.
Right. No, it's not. I mean, I'm never surprised at the amount of people who obviously love the Beatles or certain groups that are just transcend time. You know, I mean, it's timeless stuff, but you know, Africa surprised me and things like that. Someone requested Tarzan Boy. Remember that song from the 80s? And I'm going, oh, what? And then I play it and the whole dance floor is full. And I'm like, man, I am in like, I don't know what, like, whatever. I should just like try to find my cassettes from when I was a little kid in the 80s and just bring them because it would work. But so why don't you do this? Why don't you play us a song that you couldn't get out of a gig without playing? Give us one of those hits that everyone has to hear. Let's go real commercial on you.
Let's do it. You threw a curveball at me. They always request Johnny Cash. For love is a burning thing. It makes a fiery ring. By wild desire, and I fell to the ring of fire. Well, I fell into a murder ring of fire. I went down, down, down. The flame went higher. Burn, burn, the ring of fire. The ring of fire. The taste of the love is sweet when hearts like ours meet. And I fell for you like a child. Oh, but the fire went wild. Well, I fell into a murdering of fire. Went down, down, down. The flame went higher. The ring of fire. One more time. Well, I fell into a ring of fire. Going down, down, down. And the flame went higher. It burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire. The ring of fire. It burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire. The ring of fire. Clash.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. So do you like pick up songs by ear, or do you have to like, get the tabs to learn the songs? How do you learn the cover versions of stuff?
By ear mostly, and I have to transpose a lot because I don't have a higher range. So especially some of the new country stuff, I'm down like if they're capo in 4, I'm no capo, or capo 1. It brings the transposes down. But I find the key and I learn by ear. And then if I'm stuck on like a part, I'll look up tabs and like take their tabs. But I always was impressed taking lessons, like how my teacher figuring that out. And then one day your ear starts developing from tuning the guitar and being around music. Then you start to realize you can hear a G and a D and an E minor. And I'm sure you play also. I heard your song you played the piano. That song you wrote, really good. So I mean, you must know what I mean by you're looking for the key, and the theory helps because you know what chords are in that key. If it's G, D, E minor, C, like the common progression.
I gotta be honest with you. I can't. I don't have that ear. It's strange. I'm really like all I can pretty much do is play chords, and I've written like 5 songs in my life, and it just kind of started like 6 months ago. I started but I have a couple of bands, and I surround myself with really good musicians, so they take the pressure off me.
Well, let's collaborate sometime. I can definitely help you. I'd be glad to help you out with songs. That's why I love writing songs. That's my specialty.
So how do you write the songs? How do you do it? You come up with lyrics first. You can just sit on the guitar and say, "I want to write a song about." Like how does
I couldn't do it. Very rarely, I'm going in the car hearing like a melody in my head. Like I need a guitar, and I strum a chord progression, and then the words start coming out without even knowing. Like the melody starts coming out, and then the words. You're like, "What did I just say there? Or did I just say I love her?" Or whatever, whatever it is, and then you start to go with that, and that's your theme. The hardest thing is to think of a topic. I'm writing a song right now that I started today. I'm loving the melody and the chords, that I just don't have a topic yet. It hasn't come out yet. So I just kind of.
I've been learning to sort of write music because I'm a lot of things that I come up with, whether it's like slogans or advertising, marketing things. I kind of rip them off from the past. And so, you'll see something, well, that was popular. That was a great expression in 1972, and I'll use it. And most people don't know. But when it comes to music, Billy Joel, I love listening to his channel where he talks about how he writes songs. He basically writes songs as if he's another person. So he'll be like, I want to write a Frankie Valli song. So he wrote Uptown Girl. And, or I wanted to write, whatever. He played this song from Steve Winwood, a Traffic song. And then he played his version of that, which was called Stiletto. I had no idea. And he's not copying. He's very clear. He's not copying, but he's a style. Yeah. He's a style. Right. And I find that, like, so when I wrote that song, Sandy, the other day, I'm thinking it was a joke with my wife. We were listening to some John Cafferty stuff because I had talked to him the other day. And I'm like, what is it with Cafferty and Springsteen that, like, everyone's, like, unemployed. The chick is down and out. The guy's working on the road, like on the, he's out on the county line. They're from somewhere down south, from a poor town. And I'm like, well, shit, I'm going to write a song like that. So I did, she's a working girl, she's 6 months pregnant. I mean, I just make like a depressing song like Bruce would write, except not as good. So that's kind of the only way I can write this stuff is just poach other people's train of thought without necessarily poaching their melody or something. But so
keep it simple. You know what I mean? If you think about it, keep it simple. I always I can't just play G, D, and E minor again, but you can do that because the melody, as long as it's your own and your words and your meaning, that's what the average listener is going to turn on the radio and hear the G, D, and C and know the next chord that's coming because they heard it a million times in a Beatles song. And that's the only way to get a good, catchy song, I feel. You try to get too creative and you're done. You lost.
Yeah, you lose it unless you're, unless you're like King Crimson or something, and you're like
exactly.
prog rock founder. I looked up once about 6 months ago. I looked up the 4 most popular chords in like 80s rock or something, and it was like E, B, C minor, and A or A minor. I forget what it was. 4 chords. So I just played the 4 chords, and it sounded like a bunch of songs. And I'm like, wow, that's and so I just rearranged the 4 chords and wrote another song with it. And I'm just like, I don't know. I guess there's no real, I can't, I'm never going to be, Lennon and McCartney, right? Who is? So you just go with it, I guess. I don't know. And it's fun. It's a good outlet. How important is it to you to get a song out when you have it in your head?
Really important. I mean, I love it. And nowadays, you can just record it, on a cell phone just to have it. I mean, and I have to go into a studio to get it the quality I want, but I have a little micro VR, like a Boss 4-track, so I can it comes with drums and all that, and I can get at least a copy that I know what I want it to sound like. Not professional, but like good enough where I get the ideas across and the arrangements, and then the song lives. And usually the second verse is the hardest, because I'll write a chorus, the first verse comes out, and then you need another verse with another story, and you're like, if I don't write that, the song goes away. You know what I mean? For a while.
I do, yeah.
Back to me, I'm like, I gotta finish that because it's still in my head. And if it goes away, it goes away. It was never meant to be. But usually the chorus and the verse come out pretty quickly. At least the chorus to catch the hook.
Do you ever find yourself writing a song and then it just turns into a song that's already been written?
Of course. Someone else will tell you that, and then you're like, oh yeah, you're right. Even the words, you're like, those words are already in another song, the melody. And you're like, okay, because they're all inside. You got everything you listen to, and then you just kind of close your eyes and it comes out. And if it comes out the same, then you're just kind of ripping it up. Yeah, absolutely.
It's all right though, I mean,
yeah.
Christ, think of how many people got #1 hits by covering someone else's hit from 20 years before. I mean, it's a cover song, but they put their own spin on it. A lot of people do that. They can come up with their own version of a song. I find that I never can do that, but I've heard so many artists, use someone's song and like totally interpolate it, whatever the word is.
And no one will ever know, really. I mean, it's close, but yeah, that's the way you do it. Really, that's what you're doing anyway when you're writing a song, especially if you're using the same, unless you're writing a jazz song with all this crazy changes. But if you're writing a pop tune, you're just regurgitating what you've heard before.
Right.
Coming out your own heart.
What I was hoping you would do, since you've been so kind to be a guest tonight on the show and play us a couple songs, I was hoping you'd play us one more song and maybe make it one of your originals. Maybe what's your favorite original for you to play?
The newer one I wrote called "Cause I Got You," and it's going to be on the next CD that we couldn't go in to record, but we will be as soon as this quarantine's over. We're going to go back to see John Bolduc, and it's called "Cause I Got You."
Great.
Let's go for it. Work all day, 'cause I got some bills to pay. Just another day, another dollar. And I try to get ahead, and I fall behind instead. Sometimes I wonder why I bother. But then I think I don't have a nice car to drive. Don't live on the beach in Long Island. Don't want to show you my stuff. You might think it's not enough, and I don't want to tell you I'm busted. Beat down the door up and rusted. My hands are cast and dirty, and I don't care at all, 'cause I got you. And I took one look at you, and then I clearly knew you were the one I always dreamed of. And you're not the type of girl who needs diamonds and pearls. And you see all the things that matter in this world, and I said, I don't have a nice car to drive in. I don't live on the beach in Rhode Island. Don't want to show you my stuff. You might think it's not enough, and I don't want to tell you I'm busted. Beat down the door up and rusted. My hands are calloused and dirty, and I don't care at all, 'cause I got you. Through every night and every day, and I got you. You make all my dreams come true. Don't have a nice car to drive in. Don't live on the beach in Rhode Island. Don't want to show you my stuff. You might think it's not enough, and I don't want to tell you I'm busted. Beat down the door up and rusty. My hands are cast and dirty, and I don't care at all, 'cause I got you. Yeah, I don't care at all, 'cause I got you. I don't care at all, 'cause I got you.
Awesome stuff. I like the whole beach in Rhode Island part. That plays right in, right?
It was Long Island, the original words, but I changed it for tonight.
I saw that. So, hopefully you'll be able to play up here this summer. And because you guys came on the other night and played at our online fest, then hopefully either this fall or next spring we'll get you at the real in-person fest. We'd love to have you guys play. So, Matt, thank you so much. Tell us before we leave how we can find your music online.
The best spot is Borderline Genius on Facebook. And there's a couple Borderline Genius sites, but Borderline Genius, the band, they don't say Columbia, Connecticut. Find that, and all my info is there, my phone number, email, matt@themusicbureau.com. And can I give my phone number? Because they can just text me. And
yeah.
That's no problem. So 860-823-9450. And text me if you want a CD or a T-shirt or anything like that, or just to say hi or want to collaborate in songwriting or music or anything like that. It'd be fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Matt Bureau of Borderline Genius. Thanks for being our guest tonight, and we'll see you in Musquamicut Beach, hopefully sooner rather than later.
Looking forward to it, man. It's a good weather.
See you later.
Thank you.
See ya. Bye. All right. So that was great. It was really cool to have him on, and I wanted to have him on because they took their time on Saturday night to play that Musquamicut Online Music Festival, him and his cousin, Borderline Genius. So if you get a chance to book that band or look that band up, Borderline Genius, they're really great, and they've got some good original stuff, as you just heard there too. So always want to talk about some musicians that are in the local area that are doing good things and playing good things. So coming up tomorrow, I have a really cool guest. His name is Rodney Justo, and Rodney is the lead singer of the Atlanta Rhythm Section. A lot of people remember them. They had a hit with the song Spooky back in the 70s. All kinds of great songs. Atlanta Rhythm Section, and the lead singer of that band, I think he's in Florida now. Obviously, they had to cancel all of their tour plans and everything else across this country. Hey, Mayor Fung is watching. Hi, Alan Fung. My best to Barbara Ann, who I know is recovering from COVID-19, and you stay healthy so you can keep being the mayor and don't get sick. But our love to Barbara Ann, Mayor. Tomorrow night, Atlanta Rhythm Section, wonderful band. I Am So Into You. That's another great one. What do we have here? We're going to play something from the Atlanta Rhythm Section, maybe? Okay, go ahead. Oh, yes, this is the guy who's going to be...
I wasn't going to play
night.
it. We'll play it. I wasn't going to play it. We'll play it tomorrow night. I was just going to use it as background.
Yeah, so the guy in the middle right there is Rodney Justo, the lead singer of the Atlanta Rhythm Section, ARS, and he's going to be here tomorrow night. He's the original lead singer, who was one of the founders of the band. There he is right there doing his song. So Spooky, So Into You, Champagne Jam was another one that they had. So they had a bunch of top 40 hits there. They're kind of in that yacht rock category, as well as kind of in that southern, not southern rock, but kind of in that thing. So Rodney Justo tomorrow night from the Atlanta Rhythm Section, and then the next night, Danielle Kennedy. Danielle Kennedy is a reporter from Channel 10 News, and she's been out and about reporting during this whole COVID situation. So from NBC 10. Danielle Kennedy on Thursday night. And then, as I say, we're going to be here mostly Monday through Thursday for this show, Caswell Tonight. And coming up next week, we're going to have some great guests on. Tim Sharon is going to come on, a great musician we just talked today. And, of course, on Monday night, the great Susan Cowsill from the band The Cowsills. So lots of good stuff. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. I'm not sure, are we ending with a song tonight, or if we're just signing off and saying goodnight, but whatever we do, we will see you tomorrow night with Rodney Justo from the Atlanta Rhythm Section. My name's Caswell Cook. You've been watching Caswell Tonight. Good night, everybody. Good night, Mom.